All right, so I just wanted to go over how OpenBoxes currently uses or is able to use barcode scanners, input from barcode scanners, and then show you some of the ways we are hoping to be able to use barcode scanners in the future. So the first thing is, a barcode scanner like this is essentially just a keyboard. So it's got input device that sends data to the computer that it's connected to. Um, and so most applications just receive that through basically like a keyboard, uh, like it's entered on a keyboard. So if I was to take this barcode here and scan it, it's just going to come up in our in that field with the information that is on the barcode. So in this case, it's a product code, and OpenBoxes is smart enough to go and search for that thing. But that's as far as it goes in terms of entering barcode. So the places where you would probably want to use a barcode is on receiving. So I'll go to our C page. Oops. Let's go to. And here I already have all the information pulled up. I don't really need to have use barcodes here unless I'm going to be entering them here for the bin location, which this is not going to come up with anything because there's no barcode. There's no bin location named 10001, but this is probably where you're going to do it. So these workflows, the receipt and put away and picking are mainly geared towards bulk entry. So they're not really suitable for barcodes or barcode entry. What we really need is a way to sort of turn these into multi-line, multi-row tables to single-line forms that you are dealing with one at a time. And with that, we are sort of looking at doing some kind of mobile user interface. This is a proof of concept that I'm building for a mobile app. So let me actually make this smaller so it actually looks like a mobile app. So you might pull this up in your browser and use this on either a handheld device that has an integrated scanner, or your mobile phone that is connected with some kind of barcode scanner. And there are actually some really neat barcode scanners that you can connect to an Android or a iPhone or whatever phone it is. You can kind of have the case and the phone sort of together integrated. So it'd be similar. It's a cheaper version of one of these handheld computers. And it works fairly similar to that. So you could get away with using a mobile interface like this. So let's just say we scanned something. This is, again, proof of concept. It just tells us that barcode was scanned, and so we have a library here that is looking for the barcode scans, which is usually there's some kind of keyboard sequence that gets entered, or the fact that the data was entered so quickly, like the computer is able to detect that this was a barcode scan and not somebody typing really fast. And so what we plan to do with something like that is, so if this is a mobile interface, I'm potentially, if I'm just on like a product listing page, I might go directly to the list or the details page for that product. If that product has incoming receipts or outbound orders, like maybe the user interface is smart enough to go to that thing. Otherwise, we're going to have features that allow you to say, okay, I'm going to receive something. You click on the receive button, and then you start, barcode scanning those things in, entering the amount, maybe entering some information about disparities or comments about, we had a variance, like there was, 5 missing or something like that. That might all get entered into the system. But what would end up happening is it's essentially just decorating this process. So maybe I entered in a barcode and entered in that we received 2 of these. This line might be filled in by doing that action from a mobile phone, and you wouldn't have to come to this page to do that. And perhaps you go through this whole process of receiving, and you never have to come through this interface ever again, because you could do everything that you need to through that through the mobile user interface. But that's all. Again, this is all web application. All of these things are through this one single application that we have with open boxes. What we're hoping to do in the long term is to create separate applications that can run natively on a device, whatever device it is. So let's just say we've got a TC20. Sorry. And that looks like with sled. That's going to look something like this. So this is just a device that has an integrated scanner, and the scanner is actually can be used through here. You don't actually bring up like a scanner application or anything like that. It's just it's almost like this. You're clicking that trigger, and it's going and scanning items, and then entering them into whatever the in-focus application is. Same with this. This is an RFID sled, so if you're scanning RFID, you just need to get near the tag, and it's going to put that input into the application, whatever the application is. So whether the application is running on a browser on this device, or it's a native application like a React Native app, it doesn't really matter. The biggest difference between those two is with the React Native application, you could potentially integrate with the API for for this device. So in this case, it's the Zebra, so you could use the Data Wedge API and make things more seamless. But basically, it would just work very similar to this, where you receive a scan and you do something with it. And so for a receipt, maybe we do a scan on the product ID. We do maybe a scan on the quantity, or you enter the quantity by hand through the keyboard. And then you do a scan we're going to put this away, or we're going to receive it into the receiving bay, or we're going to put this away into a bin location. And so you would want those barcodes to be available somehow through through a control sheet, or on maybe you're actually walking through the warehouse and putting them away, and so you're scanning the barcode of the location within the warehouse that you're standing in front of, things like that. So, and that actually, in most cases, what we would have is a system that would tell us where it was going, because the system would be smart enough to say, okay, well, these roasters are supposed to go to this bin location, and there's still availability in that bin location, so let's just go back and put them there. And so you would just go there and use the barcode scan as more of a validation that you're putting it in the right place. And if you don't, then the computer would tell you, oh, sorry, that you're one bin location off. Try again. And so that's sort of the idea behind what we're hoping to achieve. But right now, there's not much other than being able to do some, quick searches, or use it as a keyboard when you're entering in the data anywhere within the system. You would just want to have let me go back to the outbound. Actually, that's a bad one. If I'm creating a new, say, stock request, I can just put whatever in here. maybe my request, I would want to do this. And enter in 113, say next, submit. And that's it. So now I have submitted that request, and maybe the picking process would use a barcode scanner as well in that same way. But actually, it wouldn't need to, because you would just have it available within the outbound stock movement. So it's a very long-winded way of saying barcode workflows are coming, but we're not quite there yet. All right. Thank you for your time.